Eevee, it's just a big dog. It's just a big dog, Eevee. Just doing what a dog does, trying to sniff your bum. With HS2 in increasing trouble, we've seen attempts by lobbyists to basically say, well, it doesn't matter if it's 3 times the original budget and it's still going to keep rising, because obviously they want that money and it keep rising is great news for them. And you see this baseless rhetoric like, it's essential, transformative, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and all of these buzzwords that keep getting recycled and recycled. And they're all baseless, but they just, like the arguments for HS2 in the first place, they sound like they must be good. And one that keeps coming round every so often and is getting pushed increasingly to the front at the moment because there's very little else left is capacity. We need capacity on the railways. We need to relieve the crush hour conditions that people are facing. There's no room for any more trains anywhere on the railways. I think it's just total crap, because what they're trying to do there is play on the anxieties of those commuters facing crush hour conditions every day, saying that HS2 is going to help them when it's not, because HS2 delivers capacity where it is needed the least for the intercity elite. They're the people who do the point-to-point intercity journeys, the business elite. And yeah, HS2 doesn't really go to that many places. And of course, they will be the people who will be able to afford the tickets. So now you say, rather disingenuously, that, and what we've seen is arguments that try to patronise people and sneer at them and say, oh, well, you don't understand how the capacity works, because it's not about the capacity on HS2, it's about the freed up capacity on the rest of the rail network. Because what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to get rid of all the fast trains. Hang on. We'll be able to get rid of all the fast trains on the East Coast, West Coast and Midland Main lines. I'm not sure we can do that, because those trains stop at more places than Birmingham, Crewe, Manchester, Leeds, not Nottingham, will be there later, and forget Sheffield, that's just off the park now. That they stop at more places, that they connect places. You can't get rid of those trains. Though, in the HS2 business plan, and people, I get slagged off every time I bring this up, because I'm quoting facts from HS2 Limited. There is a requirement for £11 billion worth of cuts to the existing rail services once HS2 has been completed. And that's brilliant. There's one bloke who keeps telling me, oh, you're a liar, because these cuts haven't happened yet. They're meant to happen after HS2 is in operation. Oh, but no, you're a liar. I've proved that you're a liar. Oh, for God's sake, what is wrong with these people? Anyway, there is a requirement for £11 billion worth of cuts over the lifetime of the business plan to the existing services. And in a lot of respects, it doesn't matter what the figure is. It's a net cut. It is a reduction in existing services. And the thing is, I say, but you can't really do that because you can't cancel all those trains. And one of the worst arguments I've seen so far, and it really is patronising people because it's trying to say, I know about railways and you don't, is that they say, well, if you take all the fast trains off the existing railway, no, you can't do that. I think we've established you can't take all the fast trains off the existing railway. And we'll have a bit more of that in a minute. If you can normalise the speeds, or because the problem is that you've got these trains going really slow and these trains going in the middle and the trains going really fast, and you get rid of the fast ones, then you can normalise the speed of the railway. You can actually fit even more trains on. Well, hang on. Besides the fact that no, you can't get rid of all those fast trains, what is called euphemistically semi-fast commuter services go 100, some go 110. So not far behind the 125 that the intercity go. And they're saying, oh, well, if you normalise the speeds, well, actually, those seem pretty in the same range, 100, 110, 125, we can put more freight trains on. Okay, but freight trains sort of max out at 50, 60. So that's normalising the speed on the railway. Now, what you're saying is you're going to slow down the rest of the only way that works is if you slow down all those semi-fast commuter services that are going 100, 110, and the remaining fast trains which will have to stay on the existing network going 125. You can't do it. But what's happening, what that is basically saying, oh, well, you know what? I've got a brilliant idea for how we improve freight capacity on the motorways. We'll let lorries go in the fast lane. That's what that's saying. And it's insanity, but there's a lot of these arguments for HS2 which play on the fact that not everyone knows much about railways. So when someone says, starts using words like grade separated junction instead of flyover and says loop instead of lay-by, people think, oh, that bloke knows what he's talking about. And it's just not reasonable. And that's one of the reasons that I did the article for The Independent, because there'd been another article in The Independent making a lot of those points. And one last thing that I stuck in there is that, and this is another great thing that I've had with the people who are for HS2, is that HS2 say that they will do, from the start they have said that they would do 18 trains per hour. Originally at 250, that only lasted a couple of months. Then 225 miles an hour, as it stands now. And there's no railway in the world that does 18 trains an hour at 225 miles an hour, 360 kph if you prefer. Nowhere in the world does that. And I've had people say, oh no, well, in Japan, Shinkansen, they can run trains 3 minutes apart sometimes. So, well, that suggests 20 trains an hour. So did they do that? No, they do 13. Okay. Oh no. Other arguments like suggesting that the bloke who was actually in charge of the signalling for the LGV East in France didn't understand it. Because no, it can do more trains than he's saying. And this is what you get from some of these people. But yeah, I'm really digressing now. And I probably missed something out about capacity. But no, read the article. It will be in the description link. And I believe that was recapping the end of day 4. Let's get on with day 5. Still got to take the tent down. Yeah, well, this has possibly got to be the least used footpath ever. Genuinely, I'm not lost. This is the right route. There is no room on the other side of the crops. Obviously, I'm just walking between them. I'm not walking on anything. This is bonkers. No wonder the horses had never seen a dog before. Genuinely, no one walks on these paths. Eevee, I think this horse is in love. Are you in love? Dad, I don't know what's going on. There's a dog food.
There's not now.
Well, no, she's eaten. No, she's had it, but there'll be an empty tin there. I don't remember where it was. Oh yeah. When I just got here, I actually checked the map because I thought this road, I think Kegworth bypass, I assume, is that new that I thought it might not actually be on the map. But then I've realised, no, I'm not HS2 limited. I don't use out-of-date maps. No, don't know what that means. Well, you'll have to wait.
It's a good one. It's a very good one, if you don't know. It's about 100 miles away, mind. Nah, can't be that far. Well, we'll see. Or we won't, depending on how the body holds up. Been all right today. Left shoulder was sore earlier. Then I realised it's sore because it's getting cold, because a little bit of sweat, and the sun was on my right hand side, and that was it. It was my left shoulder was just cold. So everything's fine now. Still problems getting up and down, but you know, and stack loads of styles today. Anyway, I need to move. Oh, you're just lonely. No, I know there's food in the bag. It's not yours. No, that's my bag. My bag, not yours. Go on, Eevee, we've made it. No, see, you can't get over here. Actually, you probably could jump that if you wanted to. We're going now. All right? No, you're not stopping us going. We're going. You stay here. Okay, guys? Right. Over there is East Midlands Airport. And unlike Birmingham Airport and Manchester Airport, it doesn't actually get a station with HS2. But it doesn't stop the fact that they're lobbying for it, along with the other two, and Leeds Bradford Airport. Because, oh, what wasn't one of the main justifications for HS2 originally? Oh, it will take flights out the air. No, it won't. And, you know, the Green Party have seen this, that, well, actually, it doesn't do that. I think they described it as socially regressive, environmentally damaging and bafflingly irrational, because they actually bothered to look into the details. But there are still some who are saying, oh, it will take flights out of the air. And oddly enough, while the Green Party oppose HS2 on environmental reasons because they haven't seen through this idiocy, the Liberal Democrats say, oh, we support it on environmental reasons. And the thing is, if you've got 4 airports lobbying for HS2, is it really going to take flights out of the air? No, of course it's not. And as I keep saying, with HS2 and why we're having HS2, why HS2 has got this far, follow the money. You know, it's all about the lobbying. Yeah, and well, the other thing to mention about East Midlands Airport is that, as I say, the station doesn't go there. One of the earlier plans actually was to tunnel under the airport, but not put the station there. It surprised us because we did genuinely think it would be near the station or at East Midlands Parkway by the power station, but no, it's not. It's in a totally bonkers location, but we'll be covering that tomorrow. Oh, don't worry, Dad, I'll kiss it better. So, after one day of managing to do the end of day video at the end of the day, I'm back to doing it in the morning. Though, actually I'm quite happy about that, because I set myself a target of crossing the M1, a big psychological barrier, and then I thought, no, sod it, I'm going to cross the Trent. And I crossed the Trent. The only problem is, as you can see, there are a distinct lack of bridges in this part of the Trent. So what I should really have done is abandon the HS2 route and head for the bridge. But no, I kept along the HS2 route and then went for the bridge, which I'm severely regretting now, because that meant that I got here about 11:30, and yeah, I ended up taking a path, footpath through the golf course, and I couldn't see where the footpath joined up with the towpath here, and I just couldn't find it. I don't know how I managed to miss it, and in the end it was getting that late that I just scrambled up another embankment, this one full of briars and nettles. Don't worry about the dog, I carried the bloody dog. Worry about my legs. Oh yeah, lovely.